Like for fun, you literally get dropped out in the middle of nowhere and trek.
Yeah.
It just seems so foreign to me.
Yeah,
I mean, hunting is foreign to me.
Yeah.
You know? And I think for a lot of people in Australia, hunting is foreign.
Seems so weird that hunting's foreign.
Yeah.
Foreign. Because
we all eat meat, and yet hunting is
most
foreign.
of us eat meat, but
the good ones anyway.
People don't like hunting.
Yeah.
And we all used to hunt.
Yeah.
You know, at least our ancestors, we all used to hunt. You know, and then it's like, I try and keep my mouth closed on some of this stuff, but I'll let it open for you.
Thank you.
But it's, you know, like a domestic pig's got a life because it's got a use, right? It's in demand. And a dairy cow gets to have a life because we eat dairy. So if we take those things away, who the fuck's going to want to have those animals? They wouldn't even exist. So there'd be no such thing as a domestic pig. There'd be no fucking sheep. There'd be none of that stuff. They actually get a life and get to live a life. You know,
they serve a purpose.
It's just about managing things correctly then. You know, so if someone's got a fucking cow and it's in a little cage and it's getting fed a fucking drip, no, that's not fucking right. No one's ever going to agree with that unless it's the person that's making money off it. That's the fucking it. You know, and no one agrees with that. You know, and if you look at hunters are taking animals in the most ethical way, you know, and I don't just mean ethically as in it was a clean kill, you know, I mean ethically as well as in it's an animal that's lived a life. You know, that's how I always feel best. Like, I'll go out and shoot a buck, and you know that deer's like lived its whole life out in the wild.
Never seen a human.
Fucking never seen a human. Never been put through a set of races and pushed into an abattoirs or anything like that. So there's the best form of it right there, you know. And it comes back to being a little bit selfish because then people are like, oh, and you put an effort in as well. But fuck, it ain't about that. It's just about it was taken in a good situation. Yes, hunters do put a better effort in. You know, and it gives you a better connection and everything to your food, you know. But then there's the next step. The next, probably the best way is how we farm in Australia. Everything's free ranging. You know, they get to walk all over the fucking countryside. Like,
this is something you
we
said
don't
to me,
have sheep in a little pen.
This is something you said to me recently about factory farming and all that type of stuff. Can you clarify? Because I went to talk about it in the video and I couldn't quite remember what you said. But there's no animals that are caged.
No. Well, if we had to buy a cage for every sheep, it would then be not profitable, right?
Yes.
So in Australia, how they do their farming, and also it's to the best standards as well, is they're in a massive big paddock where they walk around and they do what they want. And if you've ever seen animals, they only care about like 2 or 3 things. It's fucking eating, sleeping, and fucking reproducing. Like watch them. Even if you give a sheep, it can open up your fucking house, open up your, you know, the back lawn, fucking open up everything, have a PlayStation there for it, the whole fucking lot. You know what it's going to do? Fucking eat the grass. Yeah. That's what they do. That's their life.
This is the argument from a lot of vegans, that these animals are sentient and they're very intelligent and all these type of things. And in reality, they are prey animals.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality of the situation. That's the world we live in. Yeah. Unfortunately, for those animals, they just happen to be eaten.
But that's their purpose. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's why they are there.
Yeah.
That's why they reproduce.
Yeah, 100%. They still need to be treated right.
Of course.
You know, and they still need to fucking live their little lives, you know, which they fucking do in Australia, and that's what I'm saying. There's no cows that are locked up in a pen in Australia. There's no pigs that are locked up in a tiny little pen, you know. Yeah, I think the farming standards are really good. So there's the next best meat to go and buy. You know, when you go and buy meat that's fucking, you know, treated well like that. And like I said, that's their life. That's how they live. That's how they want to live. Fucking just like, you know, these cows, when no one's buying just one pen for a cow and then it's fed a dripper, it just doesn't get done. Not here anyway. But if you're watching the worst of the worst, I'll show you a video from some other country where that is. My sister was going vegan for a little while. And she's like, well, what about this video? And she showed me this video. I'm like, that ain't Australia.
No.
Like, you've lived in the bush. You know, we grew up in a sort of rural setting. Have you ever seen that? And then she was like, nah. And I'm like, because we don't do it like that, you know. And the reason that animal's here today and living and breathing and has a life is because of farming, you know, human demand.